Welcome, everyone. I'm Robert from Massachusetts from the iamLove website. I have a very special guest with me here today. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Dr. Robin Goldberg. I'm the dentist who teaches meditation. I teach meditation for iamHeart, their IMU courses, and I'm featured on their app called Breath and Heart.
All right. And do you want to tell them about our theme today?
Yes, our topic is appreciation. Yes, and I appreciate you.
I definitely appreciate you. Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
To give you a little bit of a preview of what we're going to be doing here. So we're going to start with a quick song, and then we'll go into our first meditation. And then we'll have a conversation, a discussion on our theme, going more deeply into that. And then we'll have our second practice, and then we'll have some closing remarks. So let's start our song. Listen to my heart song. Listen to my heart song. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. Listen to my heart song. Listen to my heart song. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. One more time. Listen to my heart song. Listen to my heart song. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. All right. Taking that in, I invite you to close your eyes. And we begin by placing our attention on our bodies, preparing the body to meditate. Just feeling ourselves sitting, perhaps sitting in the chair, feeling our feet on the ground. And it's very good if the spine is straight, pointing up to the heavens. And we really like to open up the chest, so kind of rolling the shoulders back, opening up the heart and the chest. And then I invite you to just tune into the everyday breath. Feeling the breath coming into the body, nourishing the body, and breathing out again, feeling the air flow out, just observing it at first. For today's meditation, we'll be breathing in and out through the nose. Just observing our everyday breath. Is it heavy? Is it light? Are there any emotions riding on the breath? And then I invite you to put your hand on your stomach, feeling the breath fill the stomach. And I think there's just a sense of ease, of deepening of the breath as we fill the stomach. And then as we exhale all the air out. Perhaps with every breath, it expands further and contracts further, flexing the stomach muscles. Susanna says that the secret to a full inhale is a full exhale. And so perhaps you can feel the belly button almost touching the spine on the exhale. And then the inhale just happens automatically, filling the stomach and the chest. And then I invite you to put your hand on your chest over the heart. It can be so wonderful to meditate and feel the heart center. And I think just by placing that attention on the heart, we begin to connect with what's at the center of our chest. And perhaps begin to feel the heartbeat. Some of us are blessed and we can feel the heartbeat with just this attention. And, if you need to feel the pulse on the wrist or the neck, feel free. Or we can just use our imagination. What would that feel like? The love dub of the heart. Feeling that reverberate in our chest. And so in this meditation, we'll be taking a journey in connection with our home planet, which has so many wonderful names. Mother Earth, Gaia, Pachamama, simply Earth. And so with the energy of the full breath and with every heartbeat, we begin to breathe down into the earth, perhaps down our legs, this part of our body that walks upon our planet, the celestial body all the time, or down the spine, down the base of the spine. And it's as if energetically with every exhale, these energetic roots seep down and down, further and further down to the core of the earth even. Below all the ancient layers of sediment, seeping down past all the aquifers and the waters, and seeping further until it becomes warmer, even red hot like fire. With every breath, the roots become vaster and thicker. And then on the inhale, what comes up is just revivifying life energy and the perfect antidote for what we need in our life, whether it's a love or it's a peace or it's, a healing. The perfect antidote to the need of today comes up. This is very wonderful life force energy in the center of the earth. We have a wonderful symbiotic relationship with our planet. What we give out, the earth takes in, and it's so wonderfully pleased that we're deciding to connect to the heart of the earth, to the spirit of the earth, which is a tremendously beautiful and wonderful veil to the one being in the universe. Just breathing down and breathing up. With every breath, with every heartbeat, the connection grows, richer and stronger. And with every breath, particularly the bottom of the heart becomes nourished by the heart of the earth. With every inhale, that wonderful energy of the earth just fills the heart center. And with every breath, our heart becomes more energized with earth energy. This nourishing and revivifying energy just fills the heart. It's a very harmonious energy, very, very generous. All of our troubles are like a drop of water in the ocean. When we fill our hearts with the earth's energy and spirit, and then we reach a point where our hearts are just full. And so then what happens is the wings of the heart start to expand. And so on the inhale, I encourage you to reach out on the left and right side as if your arms were extending further and further out. Those wings of the heart just grow. And then breathing down to the earth again on the exhale. But with every inhale, the width of the heart is expanding. Just like the earth has a very broad heart, our planet, very broad angelic heart, so too when we connect with the earth, our hearts become like this. And a broad heart is so compassionate and so majestic, it can take on any trouble, just wants to give, so honorable and loyal and just filled with love and compassion for all, can weather all. And so we become so generous, so abundant. Wonderful beacon of abundance for others in our lives. And this is the time to think of those others in our lives that limit us. Who is it, beloveds, that limits the width of your heart? Let the earth hold them too. Just give it to the earth on the exhale. Don't let them limit the width of your heart, the wings of your heart. This width of the heart, it's an infinite dimension. These wings, they expand out to the universe without boundary. All right. I invite you to return your breath back to the everyday breath. Still feeling the heartbeat, coming back to the body, feeling the body in the seat. And perhaps we can wiggle our toes and our fingers. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes.
Thank you. That was very beautiful.
It's wonderful to practice with you.
So I would love to hear you tell the story of Ayaz.
Sure. So, the story of Ayaz. So it begins with Ayaz, who's a person that has not had an easy life. The lowest of the low for most of his life. Did not have many opportunities, and a commoner, and looked down upon for most of his life. And the story goes through a course of events that Ayaz finds himself in the court of the king. So some course of events, I think, maybe he's there to help clean with the servants or something. And the king was in a very strange mood that day. And he asked for everyone in the court to line up before him. All the festivities and the music all stops, and everyone's like, "Oh gosh, what's going on here?" And he asked the first person in line. Well, he directs his servants to bring a chalice, and he says, "Hand them this glass," and then he orders the person throw it to the ground. And so the man, is looking around like, he throws it on the ground and it breaks. And now he's a little bit scared. And the king says, "Why did you do that?" And the man, really kind of very, very worried here. And he says, "Well, because you ordered me, sire. You ordered me to do it, sire." And the king just kind of is silent. And then he goes to the next person, and they repeat it. A person brings a glass, and the king orders him, "Throw it to the floor." The man throws it to the floor. It breaks again. And then again, the king asks, "Why did you do that?" And the man kind of looks over at the first one, and he's like, "Well, it worked out so far. He's alive, so this must be working. I'm going to do the same thing." And so he says, "Because you ordered me to." And he says, "Oh, the king, okay." And down they go the line. Same repeats over and over, and then they get to Ayaz finally. And Ayaz is there, the same thing. They bring him with the chalice, and the king orders him, "Throw it to the ground." And Ayaz throws it to the ground, and it breaks. And the king asks, "Why did you do that?" And Ayaz says, "Forgive me, my king. I prayed with my heart of hearts that it would not break. Forgive me, my friend." And the king was so moved by this. A person who treated him as a human being, not just because of the authority. And the king was so moved and so touched that Ayaz was exalted to the highest of the high. He not only did Ayaz become a member of the court, but really he became the most powerful person in the kingdom other than the king himself, and a friend to the king. And in a short time, one of his responsibilities was he was in charge of the treasury, all the precious jewels and spoils and treasures. He's the one that held the key. And then, I think the other king's aides were not always so appreciative of Ayaz. Who is this peasant man who now is supposedly the king's best friend? And they observed that Ayaz would go into the treasury at the same time every day and spend a mysterious amount of time in there. And so they rush to the king and they say, "Our liege, Ayaz is going into the treasury every day and spending a lot of time in there. He is stealing from you." And the king, I said, no, cannot be, not Ayaz. No, he would never do that. And the servants say, "See for yourself. We will make a seeing hole in the wall of the treasury, and you can watch him steal for yourself." And so the king was still, not convinced, but he was curious, and so he went along with this. And the very next day, they're watching, and Ayaz shuffles into the treasury, and he goes around the whole treasury, checking all the different places and jewels and everything is in order. And then he goes to a little tiny table out on the side, a little wood table, and he pulls out a dusty bag. And Ayaz was a very important man, so he was adorned and bejeweled with the finest silk. There was no one dressed like him other than the king himself. And so very slowly he took off all of his wonderful garments, and then he looks in a mirror and he takes out of this bag these rags, and he puts on these rags, and he looks in the mirror and he says, "Ayaz, don't you ever forget who you are and who you were before your friend, the king, exalted you." Of course, after seeing this, the king and his aides were all in tears, just in admiration of this, such a devotional and beautiful soul that is Ayaz.
And the king says, "Ayaz, you have stolen my heart."
Ah, yes, I forgot that part. I'm glad you're here. I appreciate
That
this
was
greatly.
beautifully told, beautiful. Yeah, and when I think about gratitude and humility, I think of that story of Ayaz about how, because when I first heard the story, I thought, okay, there's rags, but they're probably clean rags.
Mm-hmm.
He probably washed them before he put them in the bag. But lately, when I hear the story, I think those clothes probably smelled terrible.
Yeah.
There might have still been like bugs living in there. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
These rags were the rags.
Probably took so long because he needed to shower.
He probably had to shower after putting on his rags and stuff. But what a great character that he can move from becoming the king's closest friend and advisor, and every day he makes the travel between his remembering his origins and his beginnings, and then going out and functioning
Yes.
at this elevated level.
Yes.
So
yes.
What a being. So that's an old story from the days where where kings, there was the good king that kept the kingdom safe through his goodness and wisdom. And I think in today's terms, I think of the king representing the one heart, our very highest. If you may think of it as God, you may think of it as the background vibration of the universe,
yes,
or your own heart, however you see it yourself. It's like, the king, the inner king.
The inner sovereign. And I think, we see this with people who practice, meditators and, people who practice a lot. There's a dignity that develops. You can see it here, this wonderful, queenly, sovereign dignity. And so, it's like the modern sovereign is within us.
Yeah. And how do you make friends with that modern sovereign?
Yes.
You may have moments where magically, you step up and you do things you never could imagine that you could do.
Yes.
Spontaneously. That was my life before I started with Heart Rhythm Meditation.
Right.
Once in a blue, like that inner sovereign would come right on out and be like, wow, didn't know I could do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But with
courageous heart.
Yeah, but with the meditation practice, one can sort of move the way Ayaz moves, between our everyday way of being and being the best friend of our hearts. I want to be the best friend of my heart that I can figure out how to be. That's my goal. But I spend the day kind of drifting between the two.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a return. It's an ebb and a flow.
Yeah.
So tell me, what does appreciation, what does it mean to you?
So for me, we hear a lot about gratitude. It's, certain times of the year, everywhere you look, we're grateful for you, messages of gratitude. And that's beautiful. But sometimes I don't feel grateful.
Right. Yeah.
And a good friend of ours once said, I just never feel gratitude. And the more I see like postcards and emails and memes saying about how great it is to have a gratitude list or this or that, and he says, I just don't feel it. This is such a good person. It kind of broke my heart. So I feel like appreciation is something that one can do at any step of the journey. Like gratitude is like the king, it's there, it's always available, it might pop out at any moment.
Right.
But appreciation is like the best friend of the king. Like you can kind of like recognize, like you can set your intention to express more appreciation.
Yes.
And I feel like and it doesn't have to feel, it could feel terrible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. It's a practice. It's a practice.
Yeah, you're gonna be like, I'm gonna appreciate out loud, verbally, 10 people today, and I could feel crummy every minute of that time.
Yes.
And then I promise that it will start to feel more.
It
better.
develops.
It gets better.
Do you think it develops eventually into emotional experience?
Yeah, emotional experience, and that's where the gratitude comes in, when the near best friend of appreciation, is, you've stolen my heart.
Yeah.
And then, so the way I look at it is, you're stuffing the ballot box.
Right.
So like there's more little ballots in there that say, I guess we shouldn't use that analogy. Let me start over. Whoa. All right. So you're increasing
coins in the piggy bank.
If you have and if you have like the ping pong balls for the lottery, and how many winners are in there.
Right.
Like as I walk through my day, I might see something and pull out a ping pong ball and it says, this is beautiful, enjoy it. Or I might pull out a ping pong ball that says, be jealous, be envious. Or I might pull out a ping pong ball that says, be critical.
Mm-hmm.
So the practice of appreciation means you're putting more ping pong balls into that jar so that as you go through your day, the odds of seeing something and seeing the beauty in the ugly, the cause behind the cause, feeling it in an authentic, like not bypassed kind of way, like it's real, you own it. So
do you have an example from your life where you had like, because I know you do this as a practice, right? You for a long time, and you teach appreciation. So is there an experience in your life where this really kind of culminated for you deeply?
Yeah. Let's see. So the hardest person for me to appreciate is myself.
Yes. Oh, isn't that so true?
And, the ping pong balls of it could have been better and criticism and it's not pretty pop out of that container at a regular basis.
Yes.
But for a while I had the just the daily off the bench practice of treat myself the way I would treat a friend, talk to myself the way I would talk to a friend.
Yes.
And one day I remember I was backing the car into a parallel parking spot on a steep hill.
Wow.
And the cars were going by, and I heard a voice in my head say, just take your time. If you have to do it again, you do it again. This is not a critical, life or death moment.
Right.
And I heard a voice in my head saying, yeah, that's a good idea. Like, we should listen to that voice. And then I heard another voice in my head going, what was that?
Yeah.
Like, who's in there saying nice things to me? It's like, it was amazing.
That
was just one of those moments where like, wow, cool.
Yeah, it's such a change of pace, right? The self-critic reigns for so many of us.
Yeah, it's maybe has kept me alive.
Allowing us. Yeah, it's true. It has its purpose.
Yes, its purpose, but boy.
And it's finally time to let some of the inner appreciation shine.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Shall I meditate?
Yeah, let's meditate. Let's go into another practice.
All right. So for people who know the element breaths, I'll make little references to them, but it's not important. Just breathe along, however works for you. Some people like to breathe through their nose. I was one of those kids with a stuffy nose. I breathe through my mouth. It's like however you need to breathe today is perfectly fine. I might mention just to give some guideposts for the folks who know about it. So we'll find that majestic posture. Notice our everyday breath. At the end of your exhale, squeeze those abdominal muscles so that you can get a few more beats of exhale. Now that your exhale has gotten longer, allow your inhale to become long as well, so that the breath will be balanced, the inhale and the exhale. If you can feel your pulse or your heartbeat, use that to calibrate the inhale and the exhale. You might like to put your hand on the side of your neck or on your heart, or even wrap around and feel the pulse in your wrist. See if you can detect that as you exhale, a wave of energy moves out of your heart in all directions. And as you inhale, that energy moves back into your heart. And if you don't have the sense that you can detect it, it's perfectly fine just to imagine it, because it's real, and you will eventually be able to feel it when that day comes. We'll celebrate with you. Breathing in and out through your nose, if you can comfortably. I think of Ayaz, humble Ayaz at the beginning of the story. In the king's courtyard, doing the humblest of jobs, overlooked, unseen, but supporting, playing his role and supporting the entire operation, just doing what was asked of them. So many times I feel that if I'm not doing everything, then what I'm doing doesn't have value. But the story and the breath teach me that if I play my role, I can be pleased. So if it comes to your mind a time when you played the supporting role, maybe you created structure so that the whole bigger piece would go well, or maybe you granted mercy to someone caught in the unfairness of a rule. Maybe someone just caught. And if you think of what you've done, you may have a sense that it wasn't appreciated, it was unseen, it was behind the scenes. And see if your heart, if this deep, slow breath that's coming from your heart can soothe and comfort that part of you that feels unseen, unappreciated. Let these waves of energy soothe and nourish you. After all, Ayaz was the same friend to the king before he threw down the goblet as he was later in his fine clothing. And see if you can feel the stability of the earth, the reality of the gifts you bring, completely independent of being recognized. And see if you recognize yourself here in this earth energy, working, 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 maybe unseen, but still working. And see if your heart kind of smiles at you, like, yeah, yeah. And then we'll move to the water breath, in through the nose and out through a slightly opened up mouth. Now, as you inhale, imagine or detect the energy coming down from above your head. And then as you exhale, that energy moves through your heart and down into the earth. You might like to open your eyes for just a second and see something that's beautiful in your environment. And let your eyes close back together and carry that image in your mind's eye. Maybe you hear a sound and see if you notice any beauty in that. Or you feel a texture, your skin touching your clothes. You are the one who places your attention. You're the one who looks for beauty. And what you find beautiful is so specific to who you are, your own heart. No one else has to appreciate it. Just the fact that you do is enough. We can't help but love what we find beautiful. And this water breath is all about love. As you exhale, let your breath connect you to that, what you saw that was beautiful. And see if you can feel yourself connected to all beauty everywhere. You're the appreciator here. This may be an easy step for you or a hard step. Doesn't matter. You may remember a moment when you saw something that was beautiful and your heart just leaped. Now I invite you to move into the fire breath, breathing in through a slightly opened up mouth and then out through your nose. Now the energy comes in from in front of you as if there's a fire in your chest. And that inhale helps that fire become stronger, warmer. As you exhale, light comes from the top of your chest, just under your collarbones. This is the light of truth. And as that fire burns inside of you, see if you can find the ideal of appreciation. You want to be that person for whom appreciation is second nature. See if you can taste it, how badly we want to be that person. And as you exhale through your nose, picture light streaming out from the front of your chest. And see if you can feel that upward energy, that sense of determination. I won't let anything get in my way of moving closer to my ideal. I won't miss any opportunity to verbally acknowledge anything that deserves appreciation, no matter how small. Maybe some habits of thought have to burn in this fire so you can move towards your ideal. Maybe cynicism has to go, or hopelessness, or patterns of behavior, being in a rush, being too busy. See if you can feel the upward energy and that sense of commitment. I will approach my ideal of becoming an appreciative person. I'm willing for the fire of truth to burn away any old habits that don't serve me anymore. I commit to verbalizing my appreciation, no matter how small, no matter if it's something that I did on my own behalf and there's no one in the room to hear me. I'm going to say it aloud. I'm going to send a nice text message of what that meant to me that you did. I'm just not going to miss any opportunities. This is the world I want to live in, and I'm building it. And then the air breath, breathing in and out with a slightly opened up mouth, like you're sipping soup. You feel expanded. You feel less defensive. Can you allow in appreciations, whether they've come from another person or from yourself? This air breath will help you allow them into your space. Let them be felt by you. We all have very good reasons for being how we are. And we all have the power to move in the direction we choose. With the help of our heartbeat, with the help of our breath, with the help of each other, we can allow in the appreciations. We can at least recognize how much dodging we did. We can appreciate that. Thank you so much for breathing with me. Give yourself a smile for the time you've spent, even if it was just 3 seconds. When you're ready, move your fingers and toes. Give yourself a stretch. Notice the room around you. Thank you. Lovely meditation with you.
Oh, thank you. Oh my goodness. I bow down in appreciation.
Thank you.
I just feel so marvelous after your meditation. So free and open. And it's heavenly place. Light. My favorite was the fire. Yeah, I really like that.
Yeah.
I really loved how you had us work with it. It was like a collarbone. Yeah, I had my fingers there for some time. Yeah. really wonderful. You know, usually I'm generating the fire at the bottom of the heart, but here at the top of the heart, I really like that.
Sort of like Ayaz going back and forth between his daily elegant life and his rags, like being able to bring the energy in, let it build, let the fire build, and then this miracle happens.
Right.
Because like, if my fire energy all by itself from here was running around with me, there'd be a lot of traffic accidents that I would have caused.
Yeah. I see.
So it took a lot of faith for me to realize that as this builds and builds, that it can be moving forward into the world as light.
Yes.
The light of truth.
The light of truth. I like that. Yes. Yes. So what's on your heart? How was your experience? I know leading is, it was a back and forth.
Yeah.
Leading and that practicing.
Yeah, but having your energy here with me makes it very lovely.
Oh, it's so great to sit next to a person who practices appreciation. It's just like endless compliments. I love it. Yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah. I think we did what we came to do.
All right, well.
Let's do the, how can people find more of you?
Oh, yes. Yes, okay. Everything's on my website, iam.love.
And people can find more of me at iamHeart.org, and the Breath and Heart app at this moment is available for iPhone, but very shortly it will be also available for Android.
Yes, and you search the App Store for Breath and the ampersand heart. It should be the first hit there.
That would be great. And there's that little orange circle with the lines in between.
Yes,
so
this orange circle is the icon. Yes. How many meditations do you have on the app now?
I think about like 46.
Wow.
But there's a few more in process.
Amazing.
So I like short ones because we always say we welcome beginners. And what's more welcoming than a 5-minute meditation?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, on the bus, flip on Robin.
Or trying to drift off to sleep.
Exactly. Your day will just be so wonderful.
That's the hope. That's the hope. All right, my dears. Thank you for being here.
Blessings to you all.
Oh, leave your comments. Leave your comments below. If, any moment that you remember appreciating something, being appreciated, being unappreciated, and if this meditation helped you kind of take it all in.
Yes, if this practice was meaningful for you, there'll be a link to donate on Patreon or on the website. You can find the donation. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful day.